I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
And we're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Attack on Titan, Season 3, Episode 3.
It's getting weird.
It's getting weird. Levi and Mikasa are related. Don't know the specifics, but they both share a last name. We had a lot of, references maybe to episode 6 of season 1 with Mikasa knowing Demo Reeves and that whole interaction happening, as well as Mikasa's name being dropped, last name. And we also got the whole, confirmation that Hanji's aware that Eren will be eaten, and Anna is under the presumption that Krista is about to eat, or Historia is about to eat Eren.
Yeah, not really sure exactly why. I mean, other than the whole
Becoming
point
a Titan
of wanting to take the power. But why someone that you think is an illegitimate person, why would you give them the power? If King Fritz is in charge and Historia's family are the true successors, why would Fritz want a member of the true successors to have an amazing power?
I think he is acting separately. King Rice, potentially. Like you know how Rice has Historia right now? I'm thinking there's a possibility that he's working with the Wallists right now, and King Fritz doesn't know the exact whereabouts of Historia.
Interesting.
I think there's 3 factions going on. Because the Wallace obviously aren't working on Team Fritz.
Oh, definitely not.
But
and some of I believe that military interior police officer that we were interrogating, I believe that by the king that he was referencing, he meant the true king. Seemingly.
Interesting.
That's just a guess.
I think he was referencing King Fritz, and that's why he was keeping the Rice family a secret. That being said, we don't have any answers right now.
We don't.
We have a lot of questions, one of which is, where is Niall? We saw that conversation. Well, we didn't see it. We saw Reiner talking to Niall in a way that makes me think that Niall is going to be potentially helpful.
An ally. I could see them making him a potential ally. Another question for you. For a creature such as Eren who can regenerate and heal, how do you ingest them other than how in Titan form Ymir literally swallowed Marcel whole and probably chewed him up? You know, how would Historia eat Eren enough? How could they torture him enough or chop him up enough for her to take the power from him?
Good question. Obviously Eren got to a point before that he was having trouble regenerating. So it's like a wearing him out potentially, or like
torturing him so much that he can't heal in time,
or just like go right off the bat and like cut him in half, then he wouldn't be able to regenerate potentially like instantly, like a demon and Demon Slayer. I don't think he'd be able to like snap right away. My other theory is that there is a weapon to kill Titans that we don't know, that has not been introduced. Like that stops the regenerative ability.
Well, they would definitely have it. The people in power that have all the secrets,
especially
would definitely,
if they are the ones who created the Titans in the first place.
Right. All I know is if there's any eating of Eren or anything gross of the sort, that is why I have a glass of wine.
We're coping here.
Yeah, it's a coping mechanism.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Whatever is about to happen.
You ready?
Yeah.
Sweet. Intro right away.
The more I hear it and the more I see it,
I love this song.
The more in love with this change I am.
Old story. I love stories.
Are we going back in time?
I hope so. You're just jumping right in.
That is the person being killed, right? By the interior police?
Yeah.
派手に着飾った母を乗せて私にとってはそれがいつもの生活母の真似事で本を読み出した時私は自分が孤独であることを知りました 親は子供に関心を示し、叱ったりするものとして書かれていたのです。私にはそのどれも経験のないこと。母に抱きついてみることにしました。母がどんな顔をするか興味があったのです。お母さん。母が私に何かをしたことは初めてだったので。
She treated her like a monster, like she was scared of her.
私にはそれが嬉しかった。私にあれば。母が私に発した最初の言葉。他の場所で暮らし始めました。ウォールマリアが陥落して数日経った夜、私は初めて父と会いました。
私はロッド・レイス。
この土地を治める領主の名前を名乗り、ひどく怯えているようでした。
これから私と暮らすぞ。襲われましたか？お母さん、
この母親ではありません。私とは何の関係もありません。
この女もその子もあなたとは関係がないと。
Oh, and she was holding a book in the picture we saw too.
関係もない。やはりそうでしたか。
何を
They're wearing the same clothes as well.
なかったなど知らない。
旦那様。お母さん。お前さん産まなければ。それが母の最後の言葉でした。
待て。
直前で父はある提案をしました。
With the interior,
こ
please.
こよりずっと遠くの地で。
君の名はクリスタ・レンズだ。今までのことを許してくれ。ああするしかなかったんだ。
父さん。
王家の血を引くものだからだ。私たちレイスケこそが本当の王家なんだ。ことのできる唯一の存在なんだよ。さあ、すべてが始まった場所へ。
To the place it all began. Where what began? Like the farm or?
That guy looked like Kenny, but it was this guy, Sans.
Oh, gotcha.
今までよくも俺を裏切ってくれたな。
サニス、彼は何も話していない。っていうか何の質問もしてない。私の作った作文を声に出して読んで。
You were the real
そ
one.
れだけだ。
おお、裏切ったのかよ。悪魔め。
否定はしないけど、ニックにはあんたらがそう見えただろうね。あんたらがかわいそうだって本当に。わーか、そこでクソするだけの余生に生きがいでも見出す。
Jesus.
順番だ。多分順番がある。かがすぐに変わりを演じる。
Interesting. They're replaced.
どうりでこの絵から泣く。頑張れよ、ハンジ。
That kind of felt genuine.
Yeah.
悪いね、散らかしちゃって。ゴキブリがいたんだよ。
Would have done the same thing.
あいつらに例の件を話してやれ。
おっと、エレンが食われる。ああ、私を恨んでいるか。
どうだろう。君も人なんか食べたくなかっただろうし。
兄の仲間を食べたんだと思う。人を食べても人には戻らない。しかし、それは巨人化の能力を有した人間だろう。つまりは、能力を持つ人間を食べると人間に戻り、レイナーは逃げたエレンに巨人を投げつけたという、巨人を操れるというエレンの叫びの力をそうとしたんじゃないか。だとすれば、エレンはそいつに食われるだろう。
That's a scary thought.
奴らがエレンを返してくれるわけじゃねえ。とにかく
Is it like an old king that's been a titan forever?
Like locked away.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrifying.
I know, but I could totally see
私
it.
はエルヴィンだから。
It's weird to look at Mikasa and Levi in the same shot now.
夜分遅くにすまんな。
This is a reassuring sight.
でも立ってもおら。我々はウォールマリア奪還のため、王政を打倒します。
Because they have no real intention, right?
いつかその日が来ると思うとった。
Of course you would, you wise old man.
人をとどめ続け、わしも王に銃口を向けねばなるまいと。もし私の推測が正しければ、人を殺すこともお聞かせ願おうか。そのような
It'd be nice if no one died.
それが叶うのに最も重要な根拠がまだ。我々は皆首をくくることになるでしょう。
Interesting soundtrack.
またすべて賭け事なのか。
どうも私は爆中地のようです。
Isn't that what Nile Doc said to him?
私の子供の頃の話でも聞いてください。
Interesting.
私の父は
He was the teacher.
He was the teacher that was killed
Then, if he was the
by the
teacher,
interior police.
if he was the teacher, who was the couple trying to escape?
Armin's parents.
隊長、今は。
エルヴィン、
やはりそうだったか。現在の王家は本物ではありません。レイス家が本当の王家です。
なんと。
エレンとヒストリアの救出に動いています。ヒストリアレースを女王に即位させます。
かりそめの王から冠を譲らせるわけか。真の女王。
王政の打倒が叶います。民衆の
お主の計画に乗ろ
です。知れ。
No wonder Erwin knows more, or seemingly knows more than everyone else.
Yeah.
His dad was a teacher killed by the interior police.
エルヴィン団長、中央憲兵が団長に出頭を命じてます。それも町のど真ん中で。ここから離れる。
はあ、どうするつもりなの？
兵団の表の顔を通す。お前は自分の判断に従って動け。次の調査兵団団長はハンジーゾエ。
Promotion!
Wow.
She really should have been, you know, the next after Erwin.
リモ・リーブス氏だ。
昨日ここでエレン・イェーガーがリーブスの部下たちに襲われ連れ去られた。それは王政からのエレン引き渡し命令を回避するため兵団がリーブス商会を使って企てた狂言だった。リーブス会長を口封じのため殺害。
Where's the son? The son knows the truth.
現在
うまい話を考えたな。
貴様らのやって人類憲章第6条に
The Humanity Charter?
当然
人類の存続を脅かした罪。
Oh, sounds like what the royal family and
Sounds like
King's
King's
doing.
Fritz.
認め全調査兵の身柄を
Come on, bro.
Dude, your
Come
dad
on.
told you.
残りはリヴァイたちだけですが。
言ったろ。
少しいいか。
主人に近づくな、悪党め！
リーブス氏は財産を持ち出すため避難の遅れを招い
殺して当然だって言うの！
トロスト区が破綻寸前まで追い詰められたこの状況下ではあらゆる手を尽くして行くあてのない人々を支援し復興を目指した。何者かの手によってその思いはついえた。私が必ず。
Love it. Say what you need to do with your conviction, and then people will notice that you're telling the truth.
Here we go.
その日は歴史を学びました。壁の中に逃げ込み100年の平和を実現させた。何一つ残すことができなかった。誰もが教わることです。あることを疑問に
Oh no.
父に質問しました。そのまま授業を終了しました。父は私の質問に答えたのです。性の配布する歴史書には
Given by the government.
謎と矛盾が存在すると。なぜ父がこの話を教室で話さなかったのかを私が町の
He got his dad killed.
話をして父は家には帰ってこず遠く
Fuck.
離れた町で
Accident in a faraway town.
父は王政に殺されたのです。この壁に逃げ込んだ人類は放置しやすいように記憶を改ざんする。
Altered their memories?
この壁の中の社会は成立しえんからか。
なぜ父は真実に近づいただけで彼らなりの正義があるはずだと。彼らの庭付きの家と地位だけ
Uphold their fucking lavish lifestyle.
権利が脅かされ正当性は微塵もなかったで殺されたのです。そしていつの間にか父の仮説は私の中で真実となり父の仮説を証明することとなったのです。
I feel like Erwin is like the hero of this story.
戦わせてめちゃくちゃにした連中だ。
買い出し行ってきました。
町で憲調査兵団は解散
Is that supposed to be Levi?
午後には山狩りが行う。
あと1日はかかるはずだ。策を講じるしかね
兵長、足音です。
Hanji?
Fingers
こっちに向かって
crossed.
きます。
Did you see how cute Connie was trying to hear it? Please be Hanji.
That was a crazy episode.
That felt short.
Man. It felt short, but
That
we
felt
got
short.
a lot.
Okay.
Oh, man. So, okay. Obviously, we have to take Erwin's theory
As a theory.
With a yes.
That's what it
is. With a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, it's a theory, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, his father was killed over it, but all that needs is for it to even have a hint of truth.
Correct.
It doesn't have to be full truth for them to want to kill him over it.
Any type of like outward thinking could be enough.
I feel like in a way it kind of seems like Erwin's the hero of this story and Eren is like his weapon of choice.
Very true.
And then Levi's the shield and Hanji's the tactician.
Historia's backstory was fucking dark, dude.
I wasn't expecting her first words and first touch with her mom to be when she looks like she's like 6.
Yeah.
Especially if they live around the same area.
Well, who's this? At night someone would come for her in a wagon. Oh, gotcha. And she'd go off to a city wearing fancy clothes.
Was she a prostitute?
Could be. But they said
escort.
What was the flashback last episode about like a whore or whatever?
So she must have been maybe, I don't know, like why else would she hate Historia if she wouldn't hate Historia if she loved Lord Reese, you know?
Very true.
So it feels more like definitely illegitimate.
Why was Historia taken why was Historia taken days after Maria fell?
That, and why do you kill the woman? Like, why do you care so much to kill a woman, like a mistress that's living on a farm far away? Who's gonna find out, you know? Like, why did she need to be killed? And why was Historia almost killed? I don't really...
I don't know. It's like maybe they thought that they connected the walls being destroyed to the Rice family. Like, and they were like, okay, they're gonna investigate me and come looking for me and any like dirty things that like I'm dealing with, and they're trying to get ahead of that.
Also, they probably didn't want Lord Reese to have a kid.
Yeah.
They wouldn't want his royal actual bloodline continuing.
Or a female like royal bloodline continuing.
Yeah.
Because that like it's been a while.
We haven't heard any mention of Historia having half siblings or Lord Reese having other kids.
Yeah. It's very odd. It was very tragic, of course, and I feel horrible for Historia. I feel like, I don't know, there's a lot going on there, and we don't know enough about, like, Lord Reese, I feel like, to know what he has planned at the moment. I feel like he's operating on his own volition.
Yeah, we don't necessarily know if his goal is to if he would want to put Historia on the throne also, or if he is still operating maybe under the fake king. We don't really know what he wants to have happen. You just pulled up a picture of Eren with the gag in his mouth. To me, it's definitely like one to keep him from being able to even bite his tongue.
Yes, agreed.
So that's interesting. I wanted to say something about Historia before we like left the scene of her past.
Okay.
I feel like her relationship with Ymir and how she and how like attached she was to Ymir. I will come rescue you. I want to stay by your side. You know, I trust you, believe you. It's so much like sadder and more powerful because that's probably the first time she ever actually had a human connection, other than when her father showed up and 5 seconds later decides to help spare her life.
You know, I completely agree with you. I think that's a really good point. And it makes you feel for her more. It makes you appreciate that relationship that she had with Ymir more. It also makes me look at Historia like a completely different character. In episode 1 of season 3, we had our conversation with Aaron regarding like her having been wearing a mask. One can only think that she had crafted this personality that we had grown to love based off of stories that she's read as a child. She had no human interaction that was...
She wasn't taught how to act and how to be kind to someone because she wasn't even hugged by her own mom.
I don't know who Historia is. I don't know what she thinks. I don't know.
We don't know who she really is and what her real personality, her real, like, other than, I feel like Ymir is the only thing we know to be true about
Agreed.
Historia, and that is everything she's ever said to Ymir.
Well, we know her actions about wanting to save the one dude on the snowy mountaintop, but we also know that she had wanted to die in an honorable way. So we have that. We have little like crumbs kind of, but like it's very interesting, compelling, but also makes me more worried about this ulterior motive they have currently.
I mean, all of the crumbs we have about her shows that she doesn't have a great amount of self-worth, which can be totally exploited by these by people who have bad intentions for her.
Yeah.
Which is a great point to bring up her father. We don't know his intentions. You know, she's she's a very vulnerable person that I feel like, since this is her father and her memory of him was him sparing her life and saving her, that she might do whatever was best in his eyes.
Yeah.
So I don't truly know if that would be the best thing. I think it's interesting that he was allowed to tell her here that she's the true royal line when there's obviously an interior police guy lurking in the background.
Yeah.
So then it's like...
Is it like... You're right, because they could be still operating under King Fritz, right?
Because why would he be allowed to tell her this?
You're right.
Unless they
That's a really good point.
plan on killing her or something.
You're right.
Or they could have... I bet that her father's been bamboozled. I bet he came up with some agreement with Fritz about sparing Historia's life. And he's taking her wherever. And he is like, I'm so sorry about all this. But then Fritz is going to be like, JK, I'm killing your daughter, actually.
Could be. I could totally see that. Like, promised, like,
You can kill me or something?
Promise safe passage kind of thing, and then gonna turn last second. We don't know. I mean, I liked your kind of hinting at the idea that they have like a really old Titan locked away that they're going to feed Aaron to.
I really hope that's the case. I really hope they have like the first king. The first king.
Yes.
Or something.
I like
as
that.
A Titan.
But here's like, we were talking like, oh, Historia's gonna eat Aaron. Like no way, no shot.
Why would they feed her and give her the power?
Well, she wouldn't have the power. The power's only given.
Titan. Well, they could turn her into a Titan.
True, potentially.
With like a syringe or something.
If this current civilization has that.
Yeah, I bet they do.
Okay. After we get through this next line, I wanted to try to like think through some things.
Okay.
So this next line is Ari's family is the true royal line, and because you're special, you're the one and only person who can save all of humanity. Obviously,
Which is what the Wallace said about her.
Yeah, but why? Like, it wouldn't have to do with getting the Titan's power unless they'd turn her into a Titan and then back. But then I'm like, why?
The only thing I can think of is the female thing.
Yeah.
The Maria Rose Cena, this is another blonde girl in the royal family.
If they are Maria Rose and Cena. Which I'm pretty... I'm feeling like they are.
You're going to show me 3 blonde girls in the outro as the lore and history of this society, and there's 3 walls with 3 girl names? Like,
we just gotta be open-minded too, though.
Right.
We... we had... so I'm going to... When Reiner is talking... Erwin is talking. It's very
hot. Blonde guys. It's really hot in here.
It's very hot in here.
And we can't have the AC on because then you would be hearing a lot of loud noises, and that wouldn't be fun. So.
I am very bad with heat. Yes.
If you had your way, you'd be on top of that snowy mountain.
Oh my god, I love it. Okay, real quick. Mid-roll. Information available for public disclosure. Intelligent titans with power to transform. An intelligent titan is conceived when a pure titan lacking intelligence consumes some other intelligent titan. By consuming an intelligent titan, it gains consciousness as well as the consumed titan's powers. So that leaves us with
And they're showing us who are the intelligent titans on the screen.
Correct. That leaves us with a couple things. Pure Titan lacking intelligence.
Which was Ymir.
Which we're going to... It's going to connect what I'm going to go to in a second. We're going to assume was turned into a Titan by someone with powers within the wall. Or within a wall. And then consuming an intelligent Titan. I don't think intelligent titans are bred from within the walls. I don't think they have the power. I don't think King Fritz knows what the fuck, like how the fuck intelligent titans work. I think he can turn people into titans, but I don't think he has what is necessary to make somebody into an intelligent titan.
And we could say that the only reason he understands Eren is because Eren's father somehow had access to this thing. This power to give to Eren.
Yeah.
Which we brought up maybe Eren's dad stole it. And that's why he was like on the run and we haven't seen him since.
Okay, here we go.
This is Erwin's dad teaching class. And what's on the screen. It brought up that the walls were already built before people came upon them, before they needed to get there.
To protect themselves from titans, humanity took refuge within the walls and realized 100 years of peace. So, in episode 13 of season 1, we got the information that 107 years ago titans appeared. If humanity took refuge within the walls... Refuge. I'm so hot. Humanity took refuge within the walls and realized 100 years of peace. We know the Titans appeared 107 years ago, and we know that in Erwin's dad's theory that he said that that's when somebody potentially altered the minds of the people within them. We could have had one of two situations happening. Titans did appear, and then humanity took refuge inside the walls, and then this alter memory thing happened. Or we took
upon entry.
Yeah, then they started turning people into Titans secretly and putting them outside the wall. Titans were... The walls seemingly were already built. Yeah?
Yes. And, like, by altering people's memories, it could be safe to say that they do have an intelligent Titan. Maybe they have an intelligent Titan among their ranks. And they're able... And you know how Eren can control Titans?
Yeah.
That or, Eren has the king's power. The power the king had to alter everyone's minds. Eren can control Titans, but what if Eren can also change,
if Titans are people.
affect minds? Yeah, because Titans and people and humans are obviously connected. We're learning that.
Yes.
So,
that's a really good...
What if it was the king's power?
How would the king have gotten that power, though? Like, what's...
I don't know. That's a great question.
I love Erwin's father with all of my heart. They have the same eyebrows. It's fantastic.
I love Erwin.
Erwin's a really good character. So, if 100 years ago this happened, have the walls been upgraded or, like, okay.
No, the Wallists would freak out if they were
60
upgraded.
years ago is when Ymir was turned into a Titan.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty close to when the mind alter happened. The mind wipe, right? Like, you know, that's only 40 years difference. It does make sense that
there had to be something to happen for Ymir to be a part of a sect that was saying that she was the blood of the king.
Yeah.
Maybe the king died, right before that 60-year time, like right before Ymir took the fake throne.
Why were the walls already there? The whole like after credits with the 3 girls who looked like Historia eating someone. That still does that even fit into the 100 years ago timeline, or is that way before then? If the walls had already been built,
Sounds like it was 107 years. Titans show up. They take 7 years to construct the walls or whatever. Put Titans in the walls, and then everyone moves in.
Humanity that fled into these walls. The king had altered their memories to make them easy to rule. I know this is like nothing to grasp at. I understand that. But when we were watching 2x5, and I thought I like saw a still frame in the outro that had the numbers 345 on them. And if everything is happening in 100-year increments, 845 is when we started, like, at this show. So, I mean, like, that has, like, a little credence if I'm trying to, like, I don't know. It's hard for me to even comprehend the fact that how the walls were built and when. Like,
yeah.
Because from the image, it almost looked like there was people already living inside the walls before Titans appeared.
Well, people were fleeing from all over. So the people in closer proximity to the walls would obviously get there quicker than the people coming from Asia, as we've said about, like, Mikasa's family.
Like, what if the people, like, within the walls were like, all right, you know, we're not doing too well financially. We want to do really well. How we're going to do that is turning citizens into Titans, throwing them off the wall, sending them out into the world so that everybody else in the world has to come to us for protection. And then through that, we will profit and make money.
Yeah. I mean, like, needless to say, the rich people in this society suck.
Yeah.
And they, as Erwin said, what did he say exactly? It's when they were all standing and he was with all the lords. Go that way. You're already way past. There we go. Okay. So he said something about keeping their gardens and yeah. What they're trying to protect is not humanity, but their gardens, houses, and lands. Yup. All of those men. Rather, if anyone dares threaten their authority, they'll be extinguished, whoever they are.
It really makes you, like, look at the scene of Erwin bending over and telling Eren, who do you think the real enemy is? It, like, really hits different. Mm-hmm. Having, like, known Erwin has had this information and knowledge throughout the entire series.
Also, interesting character thing that you just touched on. I think that from his childhood, he learned that he needed to be smart with how much and when he told people things.
I agree.
He obviously never told people enough, and he was cryptic about things he said, so that they could come up with their own guess as they learned more, but he never outright told anyone anything until here. This is almost probably the first moment, and this is with Pixies in the room, where he's like, we're gonna overthrow the government. I'm like, this is the first time that Erwin is ever, like, blatantly saying to someone something that could get him hung.
Agreed. It's like, it's very smart from his perspective, you know, like from any perspective. I love him so much. I promise you I'm going to have way more to say in the intro next episode.
Oh yeah, it's so hot in here.
Granted, if it's any
cooler.
Yeah.
We can always take a 15-minute break.
That's true.
15 minutes later. Okay.
Be right back.
And we are back.
Cool down for a little bit. I have a couple more minutes in me. So, picking back up in regards to the episode. Just, you know, not really knowing where to pick up, I'm going to go with where my curiosity's taking me. And that is in last episode when we got the 3 scenes of and examples of people being killed, right?
Oh, okay. The balloon, the teacher, and the
mother.
What did they call Historia's mom? Now I'm really curious.
A whore, potentially? something along the lines of obscene, mean stuff. I want to say it was... Yeah, okay, here we go.
Okay, so a teacher too smart for their own good.
Erwin's dad.
It looks like Sans, that might have been his first time.
Yeah.
Having to torture someone.
Yeah. But
and the other guy's laughing.
A teacher too smart for their own good, a stupid couple who tried to fly, and a whore from some ranch in the sticks, which we saw being Historia's mother, right? The couple.
It has to be
Armin's
someone
parents?
connected to the story, because why else would they show us the other two examples? And the only parents that we know that had the goal of leaving the walls are Armin's parents.
I'm thinking back to like episode 5 about the illegal book from the outside world.
Right.
You know?
And I think we talked about it and asked ourselves in season 1, did Armin's parents ever actually like leave? Like get out? Did they ever just like walk out of the walls? Like what happened with that? But then we were like, oh, they would have immediately died, right? Because Titans are out there.
Well,
but if they had a freaking hot air balloon.
But that implies that there was enough thought and evidence that there is a place to go, right? Which we've talked about it before, like another side of...
What other books might they have had?
Very good point. Very good point. Also, well, if they had other books, how did they get them, right? Were there people who the brain wipe or whatever didn't work on?
There might be a certain society or something that knew it was coming and wanted to keep their knowledge. And so they hid their books. Like, maybe Aaron's dad is one of those people. And that's what's in the basement. Is Aaron's dad has always known. And when he says their memories, he doesn't mean Titans. He means, like, the memories of all the people that have lived in the walls before the memories were erased by Erwin's dad's theory.
You know what? That's a really fucking good idea.
And Aaron and Armin were friends since childhood.
Their dads probably had barbecues and watched games together,
Honestly.
No, but honestly, that's a really good way of thinking, though, because like the whole their memories will guide you thing. We had the idea that it was like the Titans' memories, but if it's linked back to the whole basement.
Well, now we know it could only have been intelligent Titans that had memories that could help you. And there's only like, 4 of them that we know of? 5?
We had no idea of Ymir like gaining anything from Marcel,
other
right?
than waking up.
No, I meant like memory-wise.
No, because she didn't even remember eating him. So
Gotcha.
it almost... Memories could be memoirs, diaries, books where people were like, oh my gosh, the king is wiping our memory. Let's write down everything so we'll remember. It could literally be people's memories written on a page. I did write down during the episode, though, that it's weird that we're getting all of this information without having ever gone to the basement to get information.
Yeah, very true.
I feel like some of this stuff is stuff I thought we would learn from the basement. And I'm like, the basement must be a bombshell then, because it's not like they're gonna not go, or that it's not relevant.
It does give you like the very in-your-face idea that Aaron's dad was working very opposite of where the government wanted him to, if just so happens that Aaron's dad's basement can't get, like, we can't get to anymore, and the government's keeping us from getting there.
Yes, because what did Aaron say? That they weren't even going to want to take back Wall Maria?
Mm-hmm.
Is it because they know what might be in Wall Maria?
Erwin said something like that.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I meant.
Yeah, and like...
in this episode.
Potentially. See, before our heat break, I was thinking that they didn't want to have the wall taken back, and their whole thing was like a plan to inflate the economy more, like and profit and have them profit more, because it would like the wealth would be condensed to a
but
center.
that wouldn't really have longevity. What you want is people to reproduce and spread out and make more people and make more money opportunities, make more subjects that you rule.
Yeah.
So for the longevity of their riches, it wouldn't make sense that they wouldn't want to take back land. But they wanted to cease scout activity. Scouts weren't even outside of the walls.
Yeah. I feel like they definitely planted the whole scout thing, though. They wanted there to be an organization that were attempting
to... They wanted people to still feel like there was momentum, hope even, that people were out there fighting these giant enemies and protecting you from them getting closer and impeding on the walls. Mm-hmm. So really, the scouts were created as a face, something to keep morale up among the people.
I think so. Like hope, like a false hope. What do you think? It's interesting, like, to think, like, okay, whoever is in charge here had these, like, fake maps or historical events, like, drawn up, history books produced that aren't real. I don't know. I'm looking at this map that's really interesting, like the walls and, like, the people commuting into it. Reiner's so cool.
Reiner is cool, and so is Erwin.
Mm-hmm. God!
I thought you just had a cooldown break.
I'm sorry. Erwin is cool. Reiner's cool, too.
I think my favorite part of, like, Erwin's child design is especially creating a kind of comparison between him and Levi. Because we saw last episode in a Kenny flashback that at one point Levi was basically skin and bone, really gaunt, starving. And we see Erwin, and Erwin's like, I wouldn't say like chunky, but he's definitely well fed.
Yes.
And when they showed him next to the other kids, he even looked more well fed than the other kids. And he even has a bolo tie. His hair is nicely presented. He's dressed nice. He's obviously from the interior wall.
Yeah.
Which would make sense for his father possibly having more information than maybe if you move out.
I would think so.
I hope we find out who that couple was in the hot air balloon. I feel like we have to.
Well, oh my god, yeah. If they give us 2 out of the 3 answers, they're going, like, they have to tell us the first one.
Oh, we didn't talk about Sans' line. As Hanji was leaving the cell. And did he, like, wish her luck? Or something of that nature?
Something.
And it felt genuine. It didn't feel, like, cheeky. Like, you're never gonna get to the root of this. You're never gonna fix this. Like, it felt, honestly, like a defeated man who has realized his mistakes and what horrible things he's done that he thought he was doing for the right reasons. And now
when one's role is done, another steps in to start to act again. The world can never get rid of it.
Neither of these men are acting like they're proud of what they've done.
Good luck. Hanji, yep.
It feels genuine. It feels like
I agree.
It feels like he sees a strength in her, which now that we know that she would take over for Erwin, it makes me even happier that we had this, like, wow, she has...
Wow, we didn't even talk about that. But yes, go. Yes,
she has some trust, and or 2 members of the interior police have faith in her and her, like, dedication to, and search for what is truth and what is right.
Yeah.
And her tenacity. And I find this to be a great kind of thing to add into the episode where we find out that she would be next to take over.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what's going to happen to Erwin. Like, he obviously, like, I was scared that he was going to be hung or hanged.
Is it hanged or hung?
Hanged.
I said hung earlier.
But I was very afraid of that until he swore that he'd get revenge. So I don't feel like he's going to be killed. So
I hope that he gets to see an ending that is good, that is what he wants, that he's able to avenge his father.
So I have a question. We're getting we're getting a very different type of story so far in season 3 than we have so far.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten information and confirmation about how eating people who have the ability to turn into Titans work, like if you're a Titan. We've gotten a lot of things like that. Where do Reiner and Berthold fit in now? And Annie and Marcel?
I don't know. Are they people that fled because they knew what the king was doing?
Be really old. Granted, Ymir had that weird immortality line.
And we do know that you would basically live as a Titan until...
But they've aged. Like, we saw them as kids.
They've aged because they got their humanity back from ingesting a Titan.
Well, who would they have ingested?
The last people that were intelligent before them.
But they had a mission.
I know. I'm sure they were fed the intelligent Titan and given this mission.
Ah, interesting. From who? Like another civilization?
Maybe. Maybe people who fled, who had information on how to turn people into Titans.
That's fucking gruesome, bro. Like, that's
because they talked about it like it was a normal occurrence to eat something to gain its power when they were talking to Ymir.
Yeah.
And saying, oh, Eren doesn't have any memory of it either.
Yeah, so who the fuck did Eren eat? Oh, wait, he didn't. He got injected by his dad. And it's like, okay, so...
It had to be DNA or something.
It had to be. It, like, of what, though? It had to be DNA of something, of a Titan that could also be a human, right? Where the fuck did Eren's dad get that?
Could you steal its power and intelligence without actually killing it? Like, say they had a Titan locked up in the basement. Mm-hmm. The king, the intelligent Titan. What if you stuck a syringe in them and then implanted it into something else?
Well...
You're not killing it, but you're maybe taking its DNA and transplanting it into something else.
That's a really good question, because it's like, okay, how easy is it to get it, right? Do you have to consume its whole body, its whole being, and then you're able to do it? Do you, like, what? And, okay, better question. Why was Eren able to do it, but he wasn't a Titan at first? He was injected as a human, whereas Ymir was a Titan. You know?
Okay, let's talk about that last outro for season 2 then.
Okay.
So if we're talking about do they need to ingest the whole thing, or do they need to start out as a Titan? If we take those 3 girls eating a person as evidence of a past happening of this, they're sharing. They're not, one is eating one whole person, like the Ymir eating Marcel. They are ingesting parts of this person. Ingesting parts of this person. So that would be evidence to multiple people could partake in eating Eren and gain the power from him.
Which is, you could, like, split one person up into several...
Right, and in that imagery, they're all 3 human girls standing there.
Granted, though, Eren is seemingly very different from, has different abilities from any other Titan who can transform from a human that we've seen before.
That's what I'm saying. It had to be the king one.
Well...
If the king had power to change people's,
memories.
Alternate their memories.
The line was alter their memories. Granted, that was a theory. If Eren was able to control Titans from doing the reverse, right? Mm-hmm. What?
Sorry, that was really dramatic.
From the reverse and consuming Titan rather than when he was a human, then, like, is it like... okay, I can't concentrate. What were you gonna say?
Okay. So we were like, how would this king have the power to change people's memories and their minds and stuff, right? We were like, how? How would they have that? So if all the people were coming in, what if they had to get a shot of something? And what if this king had the power to control Titans? But if you inject all these people upon coming in, maybe that's one of the things Aaron's dad had to do as a doctor for the government. And that's why Connie's village all was able to turn into Titans and be controlled. Because it is implanted in all of them.
Sure.
And that's how he was able to control them, because they already have Titan within them.
That's true, but why does Ymir immediately get turned into a Titan when she gets injected with something and then thrown off the cliff? Or thrown off the wall?
Probably because she
like
was
a
thrown
death
off the
thing?
wall and she was mortally injured. That's what I'm guessing.
So, like, the line here says, like, an intelligent Titan is conceived when a pure Titan lacking intelligence consumes some other intelligent Titan. Like, it's very hard to not, like, see the one of these is not like the other of the situation, with Eren being the only person in the entire series we've seen so far who is able to become a Titan when he wasn't a Titan in the first place.
Well, I think the answer is the mortal wound thing. I think if we think about Eren when he first was able to transform, he was probably, you could say, in a very similar situation to Ymir. He was injected with something and then very seriously wounded and about to die, and then was able to turn into a Titan. But then somehow he had to be able to regain his humanity. He didn't have it
those are two different scenarios to me. Like the Ymir Titan transformation is obviously a pure Titan, right? Let's try to differentiate them as intelligent and pure Titans, since that's what the mid-roll does. Ymir's a pure Titan, whereas Eren is an intelligent Titan. Ymir was a pure Titan after the injection. Eren was an intelligent Titan after the injection. There was something different with the injection that Eren got. So, if you are what?
I don't know. They don't use the word vessel to describe any of the other intelligent Titans. So they're already calling him
we didn't see the other
something
people
different.
get injected. I'm talking about people we've seen on screen getting injected with something, right? Not eating, another thing. So if Eren would, I would assume that there's two, if you are able to inject Eren with something to make him into an intelligent Titan, and you are able to inject somebody like Ymir to turn them into a regular Titan, they're if you inject a normal person with a pure Titan's DNA, perhaps they turn into a pure Titan.
Oh, okay. It's either that or Eren's just special. And he was injected in the same way, and it's a chosen one. He's the vessel of this coordinate that they've been looking for.
How would his dad know that? But no, Eren's the holder of the coordinate. So I'm thinking the coordinate is a special injection.
I like the idea that maybe it's the pure Titan DNA syringe equals pure Titan, and then that Eren would have been injected by an intelligent Titan
as the coordinate. I think because they don't refer to Eren as the coordinate. They say Eren is holding on to the coordinate.
And didn't they say that? Who did they say was gonna help them find it? Was it Historia that they thought might help them find it?
I know they needed Historia, or
if it wasn't in Eren,
Krista will make it easier. That was the quote.
Will make it easier to either find him or take it. Did Reiner and Bertholdt want Eren to be eaten by Historia?
Well, okay, what if she's not eaten? What if they just take it out of Eren, with a syringe, and put it into Historia?
What if it literally takes the power away from the person that you take it out of?
Yeah. So, okay, let's follow that. Let's follow the money, right? So, if Eren's dad's on the run, he's in a carriage.
Yep.
He injects Eren with it. Why is he on the run? People are looking for him. People, I'm going to assume, are from the government. What if he had learned of a plan that we talked about the whole interior and King Fritz, having like a secret Titan or whatever? What if it wasn't even a Titan? What if they had just a syringe or DNA or whatever from like with this power? He had learned about their plan to use it. He didn't like it. He took that and like ran away from it and injected Eren with it.
Or it was that the king had it locked up because they didn't want to use it.
True.
Why would King Fritz want someone to come along that was able to control Titans if having Titans there outside of the walls keeps everyone in?
Very true. You know what's interesting? There's two different, like, I'm looking back because we had talked about the crystal will make it easier in 2x10, and I also have written down from that episode Blood of the King, and I think that that's how they referred to Ymir, as she has the blood of the king. That's very different than we were referring to the Historia.
Yeah.
We haven't said that she has the blood of the king.
Well, Historia literally does. Ymir,
Does she?
it was fake.
Does Historia have
the true royal successor?
But that's different than having the blood of the king. Right?
I feel like her dad said it to... No, I feel like someone said blood.
I agree that someone said blood. I don't know.
In this episode.
I don't know if they said blood of the king, though. Because I was going to ask, we know that like Historia is the rightful heir. Was that before or after humanity was in the walls? You know?
Interesting. What if the king that erased everyone's memories had dethroned Krista's family?
By entrapping everyone in a wall.
And erasing their memories.
Yeah. Where would they have said the blood thing?
Historia's dad's eyes are like, have a million worlds in them. And I don't mean that in like, oh my god, his eyes are beautiful, it's so romantic. I mean like, I feel from his eyes like he has seen so many things and he knows so many things. Like, I feel like that with Erwin, too. I feel like his eyes also have that.
Because you're special, you're the one and only person who can save humanity. To the place it all began. Where the fuck did it begin, for one? But...
Began for who? Her life?
It could be the farm, it could be anywhere. I don't know what... Okay, our Rice family is the true royal line. That is different than Blood of the King.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking...
But wouldn't it connect Ymir and Historia better if Historia did actually have the blood of the king that Ymir pretended to have?
Yeah.
I get you, though.
But... Okay. If there was, Okay, oh...
Boom!
No, you're right. Because I think... No, you are right with that, because why was Ymir and all of her followers were being caught, right? Mm-hmm. And exterminated. Mm-hmm. Why were they being exterminated? Because potentially they were following the true heir and history of things that were outside of the wall prior to the mind wipe or the changing of memory.
Why would you say that someone else had the blood of the king when when the king's on his throne over there?
Yep.
Why would you ever say something so, like, treasonous?
Well, like, so I'm thinking there was a faction of people who had been able to keep their memory or had...
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. And they knew who the true king was.
Yeah. And I think that Ymir potentially was thought up to be... It's like a Da Vinci Code situation. Like, they had thought up of all these people to say that they were the true heirs just as distraction to keep the actual true heir safe.
Which reminds me of what we've said about the Wallists. What if the Wallists' activity and what they teach and yell about is purely both distraction and also ability to get in people's pockets and gain favor?
Yeah.
They're not necessarily preaching what they think is true. They know more and they're just trying to stay relevant. And stay in power.
I would guess that there's one of the Wallace within the king's like royal crew, like the 4 people. Yeah. One of them's a Wallace.
Why else would you need to kill Pastor Nick?
I love Pastor Nick.
It's interesting how some characters you don't really like them until after they're dead. But I definitely gained a lot of respect for him in terms of the nails, just like Levi gained a lot of respect for him. And I feel like Hanji also had a soft spot for him, even though she was like claiming that they were friends to the interior police. There's definitely a truth that it very much upset her that they killed him.
Definitely. I'm looking at notes from season 2 episode 4 when we got the name of Utgard Castle, and like we talked about it either last episode or the episode before of there being stuff and food in there, maybe the Beast Titan camped out in there. Wasn't there another castle like Utgard Castle that the scouts were using as a base, like with the same type of architecture? It was like an old,
definitely old, yeah, and it had a dungeon and all that.
1x15 old castle. Interesting.
Which castles were definitely in the imagery in the outro in season 2 when the Titans are walking through the water.
The thing I don't understand is, like, episode 15 of season 1, Eren said self-inflicted injury is, like, how he transforms, and then questioned to himself, how do I know? Like, that's why I asked if Ymir had any memories of Marcel. Like, how does he have the knowledge? Like, because that's because we both agreed that what's in the basement could be actual books and of the past, right? But how does he have this other like knowledge? Like, if it's okay, what's the difference between Ymir eating Marcel and Eren getting shot? The shot's probably more concentrated or something, right? Like maybe stronger. He has potential to like remember what made him a Titan.
Well, I mean, I think it might be safe to say that maybe Ymir never questioned why she knew that it was self-inflicted injury. Maybe she just like tried it one day and it worked. And she never like questioned why she knew to try that.
Mm-hmm. Also, yeah. I don't know, dude.
Wait. Ymir never turned into a Titan until after she had already met with people who self-inflicted to turn into Titans. She doesn't turn into a Titan until she's jumping off of Utgard Castle when she's already seen Annie.
Snowy Mountaintop.
Oh, shoot, you're right. But Eren. Did Eren move the boulder before that? No. Eren hadn't even turned into a Titan yet.
But it's very interesting.
Darn it. That was good until
good.
It wasn't
that
good
was
anymore. I hate when things happen that way. Let's just rewrite this so that I'm right.
Man, I'm at my wit's end right now.
Okay.
It's hot.
Do we just end with what we think is coming in next episode?
Who is walking up to Levi and company?
So the people looking for them are the military police, because we've seen on their logos as they were interviewing people in the wooded areas that they have a horse on the back. That's military police, correct?
Yeah, but we didn't see any of the scout regiment. Like it seemed like everybody who was in the cloaks of the scouts were getting arrested. Right.
So what are you going to do if you're fleeing? You're either going to steal a cloak that has a horse on it, or the roses of like Hans wore, or you're going to dress in plain clothes like they are currently doing as they're hiding. So this could either be other scouts that have taken military police cloaks in order to escape.
They have ODM gear.
Or, which would be really cool, it's going to be some reoccurring character things where it's going to be some of those military police that Annie met.
Whoa, that'd be insane.
They were there when Annie and Eren fought. They were the ones they were like, what the hell's happening? Wouldn't it be interesting if they could become friends?
Dude, I forgot
allies?
About them. They were like really like focused on
They were given
too,
some attention.
And
they were given attention for their ideals too.
Yeah, I don't know why they'd be here though. There's nothing to really... Oh!
Because they're searching for the scouts.
What if Niall sent them?
Ooh, Niall could have we know that they're searching for the scouts.
Or is Niall?
But Niall Doc could have sent some people within the military police to, if you find them,
and it
don't
could be
kill
those
them.
people just because we know them before, you know?
Yeah, and it could be he might use that they knew Annie or something.
I
don't
like
know.
that. I want to know when Reiner and Berthold are going to come back into the story, if at
What
all.
if it's never?
I
That would be weird.
They are like obviously have a mission, and I need to know who has given them that mission, because it's, as far as I'm concerned, they're the fucking good guys, right? Because they're trying to break open the wall, and from what we're learning right now from Erwin's dad's theory is that everybody's being kept in the wall so that the top echelon stays at the top. Then, like, the people who are trying to do the opposite are the people who have a pretty good motive, I'd assume.
Yeah. They've created this kind of, there are these two groups that are obviously going to fight, which is kind of the group led by Erwin and those that know that they are being kept in the walls and in the dark about a lot of stuff, versus the kingdom. And then we have this group over here of Beast Titan, Reiner, and Berthold, and you're kind of like, how do you interact with these other two? And it reminds me of what they say about, because remember the Beast Titan comes, he goes, is coming to observe, and he's like, they're not ready yet. It reminds me of what people say about aliens. How aliens come by to like check on kind of technology and how civilizations are furthering, and maybe even to give them some new technologies. It just reminds me of that.
What if the scout regiment, like, was started by someone on the inside? Like, okay, so, like, picture this, right? Like, whoever is, like, the leader and, like, is benefiting the most out of this had been like, okay, we don't need anything like the scout regiment. Everyone's just going to follow by law and trust in me. And this other person, like this informant, was like, all right, no, it could give them false hope to do a scout regiment. They'll never do it, with the idea that they'd advance their equipment and then, like, their mental enough that, like, reinforcements would inevitably come from the outside in form of the orangutan, and, like, know when is a good time to help and try to, like, fight and retake, like, control.
That and creating scouts also would create the possibility of having some people that are able to study and learn in the future from Titans and get to the secret, like Hanji and obviously Erwin.
It just doesn't make any sense, though, because it's like, okay, well, why the hell would you care unless, like, all of humanity was in this one contained area? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, granted, we do have the whole Mikasa line with, like, oh, it's, like, we don't know if she's the last person from that area in the world inside the walls or in the world.
Right.
Like,
I don't know if everyone fled to the same place.
We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know. Okay, so next episode, we're going to find out who those people walking through the woods towards Levi and Levi's gang is.
Yes.
We know that Levi is probably very, very upset about how he's been drawn on the wanted posters. And even though he didn't show it, but I feel like he, like, felt hurt on the inside. And we might get to see where Historia and Eren are being taken and where it all began.
Yes.
So.
Okay. You good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.